Hey everybody, I have a bit more content to make a video on. Yesterday I actually went ahead and got 14 more desktop computers. Actually, no, one of them is a laptop, and two of them are really old. But nonetheless, I'm making a video on all of them. As is obvious, it is a mess in here as I point the camera around. It's not really getting any better. But I, however, did get some pretty good pickings yesterday. I went ahead and got, as I said, 14 computers. One of them is this really old one here that had Pentium 1 in it. And I'm going to scrap that one right there. It's some very oddly designed small form factor desktop from like late 90s or something. No, it's from 2001. It has some really weird parts in it, but yeah. And a bunch of other ones I'll talk about in a moment. But the first ones I set up, since they're the easiest and since they're not custom built, because most of the other computers were custom built, is a Dimension 8200 with a 2.4 GHz Pentium 4, 512 megabytes of RDRAM. I put a 40 gig hard drive in it since none of these computers have hard drives, sound card, a couple of CD drives, and a Radeon 7000, and XP Professional, I think, or yep. And an Optiplex GX260. Well, the problem with the 8200 is that for some reason the CMOS doesn't hold any charge no matter what battery I put in it. Not quite sure why, but it's not really worth troubleshooting. So I looked at it, checked it out, couldn't see anything wrong, so you get to sell it that way. But a GX260 here, 2 GHz Pentium 4. It had one 256 meg chip of 266 megahertz DDR RAM, but I put a 512 chip in it. 30 gig Quantum Fireball hard drive, which is really old, but I put it in there since it's the only 30 gig I have and didn't want to put a 40 gig in it. CD Reliable drive and XP Professional in a floppy drive. I set both those things up already, obviously. Today's actually Tuesday, and I got everything on Saturday, so it's been 3 days. Although I was away for the weekend, so I haven't really touched most of this stuff since Monday, or since yesterday. Now I got a whole lot of custom-built computers like this. I haven't checked them all out, but this one's board is a D101 GGC board. It has a Intel Pentium D dual-core 2.8 GHz socket T CPU. I looked at this motherboard, and at first I thought, oh, it probably takes Core 2 Duo DDR2 RAM. Well, it actually takes DDR1 RAM. So I have two 512 chips of DDR400 RAM for 1 gig total. I popped my own 80 gigabyte 7200 RPM hard drive in it. Thankfully this thing had a hard drive bracket lying near it, because it's a pain in the ass when I get these computers and have hard drive brackets to them. And XP Professional codes, I'm loading that on there now. I actually just finished loading, but next step of the process is to finish installing the drivers, which I haven't done yet. And after that I gotta update it and do all that stuff. Now, a Dell Dimension E310. This has a 2.8 GHz Pentium 4, I think. Not quite sure. I'm just going to continue on with this, let it do its thing. I'll keep talking. But it has two 256 megabyte chips of DDR2 400 megahertz memory. Came with that. And no hard drive, of course. I also didn't have any CD drives or anything, so I put a couple in. Oh, I'm not going to use this one. This one appears to be jammed. Oh, it's not jammed now, but it was jammed before. I'm probably going to use a different one. I put an 80 gigabyte set of hard drive in. The last of my 80 gigabyte hard drives cost me $13 because I bought a lot of 5 of those on eBay. So I think I might be able to make $50 off this desktop. So you know, it's worth it to put a $13 hard drive in it. Okay. I think I mentioned everything with that. It has an XP Media Center code on it, so that's what I'm installing right now. And these other two machines over here I also tested out, including a Dell Optiplex GX620. That's missing a small front bezel faceplate to it, and it's missing the case siding, and I don't think I have a spare for it, unfortunately. I tested it out. It has a Pentium D, I think. Yeah, Pentium D. I think it's like 2.8 gigahertz. I'm not quite sure. I think it has a couple gigs of DDR2 memory, 4 chips. I think they're all 512. Either that or all 256. I'll check that out right now. I think they're all identical. Yeah, they're 512. and that's PC 4200U, so it's 533 megahertz. So it's, well, I'm gonna check the other DIM and see if the RAM is in fact all the same. No, it isn't. Yeah, it's another 512 chip. So yeah, it has a 2 gigs of RAM. No hard drive, as I said. It had one DVD drive in the front, I guess. I'm gonna pop a hard drive in it, although I want to put one bigger than 80 gigabyte in it. Although if I do set this up, I'm gonna want to buy a case siding at the very least for it, probably front bezel for it, so it might cost me about 20 bucks total. Up next is this custom built PC here. Put the case siding back. Why did I do that? These two have been tested. They work, but I haven't started setting them up yet. Hold on one moment. So I do believe I've tested this out already, though I can't remember what's up with it. I can't remember what hardware it has. I just tested it really quick, went to the BIOS. But I don't think I checked anything out more than that. But it says in the front it has a Pentium 4. It's probably, judging by the board, probably has like a 2.4 GHz Pentium 4, maybe a 3 GHz. Clearly AGP 4X DDR memory Ethernet card, even though it does have onboard Ethernet. 250 watt power supply. CD drive, floppy drive, zip drive. So that works, although I don't know the hardware exactly. This machine over here, I can't exactly remember what's wrong with it. I got it yesterday, on Saturday, not yesterday. It's the same case as the other computer. I guess the custom one right here. Same case. I think it might be the same board, but I think it has a problem. I'm not quite sure what it is. Same motherboard, because it does a Pentium 4. That's fancy looking. Same type of CPU heatsink on there. Of course, it's a very common CPU heatsink, but that usually comes with Core 2 Duos, not Pentium 4s. I can't remember what exactly is wrong with it, but it's some minor little issue. Yeah, I haven't had time to test all this stuff out, and I'm not really going to test it all up before I make a video. Because I really only work on 2 computers at a time. As long as I have 2 computers set up, I don't test any others out since I have never been testing them out. So, you know, in order for me to test them all out, I usually have them all set up first. Now, this machine right here, I haven't looked at this one either. Same board, Pentium 4. Sorry I ran out of battery power. I'm probably going to run out again, but I'm just going to keep filming anyway. I don't know what hardware it has. Same motherboard, same case as the other custom builds. This one right here has the same case as that one that, well, one of the other custom built ones. Obviously has a CD drive. Oh, and I also got this video card. This is an 8800 GT, I think. Yep, 8800 GT. It must be 256 megabyte. But this case has an old heatsink on it. It's clearly socket 478, so it was a Pentium 4, probably 2.4 or 3 gigahertz. Same motherboard as the other one I showed you, actually. Haven't tested it out yet. And I have another one here with the almost same type of case. Oops. Yeah, don't do that. Yep, I haven't tested this one out either, but it says there's a Pentium 4 in it. No RAM, no hard drive, so I'll go ahead and get on testing that out soon. And then I have this iMac G5, no, Snowball iMac, hooked on the bottom, and the hardware it came with was a 1 gigahertz CPU and like 256 megs of RAM. I haven't tested that out either. Actually, I think what I might do is I might make an update. In this video, I might kind of, later on in this video, after I've tested all this stuff out, I might talk about it, but actually I think I might make an update. My next update, probably next week, I'll probably talk about if this stuff works or not. But there's also this laptop here. I've got one of these before, but it has an issue. It's an Inspiron 5100. It has an issue where you press the power button and the lights flash once, and that's all it does. It doesn't turn on. I think it's a problem with the IC chip somewhere on the board. I looked up at the same exact model as this one. Like last year, I had the same exact model as this one. I looked it up, and it was an IC chip problem. Lo and behold, put pressure on the IC chip and motherboard, and the thing would work. I'd take the pressure off, and it would stop working. So, I haven't taken this thing apart yet. It doesn't have a hard drive. It has RAM and a CPU and stuff, obviously, but I don't even know what hardware it has. I just, press the power button and saw what happened. But I don't have any power supplies for this that will actually run the laptop. I have a power supply that is of too low amperage. I think I have power supply that's 3.5 amps, and this thing requires 4.5. So I used it to charge the battery a little bit to test it out. Unplugged it when I hit the power button, so it wouldn't fry the charger. But it doesn't matter obviously since it doesn't work. I might be able to use my heat gun on this thing's motherboard to fix it. I don't know. That's going to be essentially it for this video. Though I didn't mention this iMac G4. It actually had 12 80 megabytes of RAM, 2 512 chips of... Sorry about that. Since my JVC camera ran out of battery power, I went to go ahead and find the charger, but problem is I can't find it anywhere. And I think I might have lost it at another location hundreds of miles away, so I might need to buy a new power adapter for that. So I might be using this Canon digital camera for my next video or two. It only records about 20-25 FPS. It is 1080p, but yeah, I might have to use this from now on for a little while temporarily. But as I was about to mention, I have this iMac G4 here. It actually had 1280 megabytes of Sync RAM. These are two 512 chips of Sync 133, and there were two 120 megabyte chips of Sync 100. I don't know CPU speed yet. I could take the CPU off and look at it, or I could start the thing up. ATI 128 Pro, I think that's a 16 megabyte card, maybe it's 4. A 60 gigabyte Apple hard drive. I think it's 60 gigabyte. No, it's 30 gigabyte, never mind. It has the drives in the front. It has a power supply, I haven't tested it out yet. But I just thought I'd mention that quickly, just to get it out of the way. And since this camera's FPSs are lower, I do need to kind of move it slowly. Hold on, I'm just going to make sure I'm not covering up the microphone on this thing, because I hate it when I do that by accident. Okay, never mind. This 3100's finally got Windows installed. I just need to check which drivers it needs. I actually just came out here for a couple minutes to shut this thing off since the installation was still going when I went inside a while ago to look for the charger. And I just really came out here to close up since it's 9 o'clock. I have a tiny bit of homework left to do. But using an Ethernet PCI device, which is funny because it has no PCI devices installed. It's probably something to do with the chipset driver. And the video controller driver, which I should be able to install right now, but I'll do that in a moment. Oh, and yesterday I also got, no, not yesterday, Saturday I also got quite a few other things. I got some boxes, which I've already processed, but I'll show you those. In those boxes over there, there's a bunch of crap in them now. There's like these, I don't know what they are, but there's this useless stuff in there. But there's a bunch of hard drives. I already wiped two 40 gigabyte hard drives. I have this, I think it's 128 gigabyte. The 120 gigabyte laptop SATA hard drive to wipe, and this 40 gigabyte Seagate drive to wipe. So I got 4 hard drives the other day, and the other 2 are wiped already down there, stored away in the hard drive area. Wasn't much else though, although there was a box. I found this to be very interesting. It's a box of scrap CPUs, full. This entire thing was full. It was full of mostly slot CPUs, but also some ceramic CPUs and some plastic CPUs. And I dumped them all out, put the plastic ones in here, added them to my scrap collection, and then put all my slot CPUs into here. It was probably a good 40 or 50 bucks worth of CPUs. So yeah, still in the process of building up my scrap reserves to sell them all at once, because you can't really sell a little bit at once. The more I sell at once, the more money I make. And that computer, that server there, is still sitting under that box. Got that computer 2-3 weeks ago. I haven't even tested it out yet. It's just been sitting there. I'm trying my best to balance my business work with school and everything. I get home at 4 o'clock, so I don't have that much time to work on stuff before I need to do homework and everything like that, which is why I haven't been able to process everything quite so much. I've been busy lately, so I'm trying to get as much of it done as I can, but it's a bit tough sometimes. So that's going to be it. So I'll have to say in this video, and as I usually say in my videos, look at all these things I still have to sell. To many of you, I'm sure this looks amazing. You'd love to have this. To me, it's like too much. I just need to sell it all. It's ridiculous. Okay, but anyway, that's a conclusion to this video. Hopefully I'll do a little bit of an update. Sorry about that again, since I'm only using a 4GB SD card in this 1080p digital camera, I ran out of SD space. Well, it was mostly full anyway, but I was just about to say, as you know, I'll make a little bit of an update on whether or not this stuff works, probably. I didn't have the time to, but yeah, it depends on how much stuff I get next week. If I get 14 more PCs next week, I'll probably just forget all this stuff and make a video on that. But as usual, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.